My name is Alex, and I'm just your average guy in his mid-20s trying to make ends meet. I live in a small town called Milford, about an hour outside of Chicago. It's the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and nothing much happens, except maybe the occasional drunk driver or lost tourist. To pay for my community college classes during the day, I took a job at the local 24/7 gas station on the edge of town. It's one of those old-school spots with flickering neon signs, a mini-mart stocked with stale coffee and cheap snacks, and pumps that hum quietly under the yellow lights. My routine was pretty straightforward. I'd clock in around 10 p.m., right when the day shift guy, Mike, would hand over the keys with a tired nod. "Quiet night ahead," he'd always say, like it was some kind of joke. I'd stock the shelves, wipe down the counters, and handle the occasional customer. Truckers grabbing energy drinks, night owls filling up their tanks, or insomniacs buying lottery tickets. The station was isolated, surrounded by dark fields and a stretch of highway that felt endless at night. I'd put on my headphones, listen to podcasts about true crime. Ironic, I know, and watch the clock tick towards 6 a.m. But even from the start, something felt a little off. The silence outside was too thick, like the world had been muted. No crickets chirping, no distant traffic hum some nights. I'd catch myself glancing at the security cameras more than usual, their grainy black and white feeds showing empty pumps. One time, a customer, an older lady with a weird vacant stare, came in and just stood by the candy aisle for 10 minutes without buying anything. She didn't say a word, just looked at me with eyes that seemed too wide, like she was seeing something I couldn't. I shook it off as her being tired or maybe on meds. Then there were the small things. The radio in the back room would sometimes crackle with static, even when it was off. I'd feel a chill draft near the door, but the windows were sealed tight. And the lights, those fluorescent bulbs, would buzz louder than normal, casting shadows that danced just out of the corner of my eye. I told myself it was the isolation playing tricks on me. Working nights messes with your head, right? But one night, about 2 weeks in, I noticed something that stuck with me. It was around 2 a.m., dead quiet. A beat-up black sedan pulled up to pump 3. The driver, a tall guy in a hooded jacket, got out but didn't pump gas. He just stood there, staring at the store window, staring right at me. His face was hidden in shadow, but I could feel his eyes locked on. After 5 minutes, he got back in and drove off slowly, without buying a thing. I checked the cameras later. The license plate was smudged, unreadable. It wasn't much, but it left me with this nagging curiosity. Why was he watching me like that? Little did I know, that was just the beginning. As the weeks went on, those small oddities started piling up, turning my shifts into something I dreaded. I'd arrive at the station, and the unease would hit me like a wave. The staring guy from that night, he came back. Not every shift, but often enough. He'd park in the same spot, hood up, and just watch. Sometimes he'd come inside, browse the aisles without touching anything, his footsteps echoing too loudly on the linoleum floor. Up close, he had this pale skin and eyes that didn't blink enough. I'd ask, "Can I help you?" And he'd mutter something low, like, "Not yet," before leaving. Then the calls started. The station phone would ring at odd hours, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'd pick up, and there'd be nothing but heavy breathing on the other end, or faint whispers I couldn't make out. "Hello? Anyone there?" I'd say, my voice echoing in the empty store. Click. Hang up. I reported it to my boss, Karen, but she laughed it off. "Probably kids pranking, Alex. Don't let it get to you." Mike, the day guy, shrugged too. "Nights are weird here. You'll get used to it." But I wasn't getting used to it. One shift, I found a note slipped under the door. "I see you working late. Be careful." No signature, just scribbled in shaky handwriting. Was it a warning or a threat? I started feeling followed on my drive home. In my rearview mirror, headlights would trail me too closely, then vanish when I turned onto my street. Footsteps outside the station at night. Crunch, crunch on the gravel. But when I'd look, no one was there. My friends didn't believe me either. I'd text them during breaks. "This place is creeping me out." They'd reply with eye roll emojis. "You're watching too many horror movies, dude." But the tension built inside me like a storm. My heart would race at every car pulling in, wondering if it was him. I started double-checking locks, keeping a baseball bat under the counter. It all escalated one night when I got home after a shift. My apartment was in a quiet complex, nothing fancy. As I unlocked my door, I noticed scratches on the frame. Fresh ones, like someone had tried to jimmy it. Inside, everything seemed normal, but on my kitchen table was a gas station receipt from my shift earlier that night. It wasn't mine. How did it get there? That's when I realized. Whoever this was, they knew where I lived. They had been close enough to touch my world. My hands shook as I bolted the door, but sleep didn't come easy. The danger wasn't just at the station anymore. It was following me home. It was a foggy Tuesday night, the kind where the mist swallows the highway and turns the gas station into an island of light. I was alone, as always, the clock showing 3:15 a.m. No customers for hours, just the hum of the fridge and my pounding heart. I'd been on edge all shift. Another anonymous call earlier, whispering my name this time. "Alex, soon." I tried to distract myself by mopping the floor, but every swipe of the mop echoed like footsteps. Then I heard it. A soft scrape outside, like nails on metal. I froze, mop in hand, staring at the door. The security camera feed flickered. Pump 3 again. There he was, the hooded figure, standing motionless in the fog. His shadow stretched long under the lights, unnatural. My breath caught in my throat. I grabbed the phone to call the cops, but the line was dead. Static only. The scraping turned to knocking. Slow, deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. Not urgent, but insistent, like he had all night. I backed away from the counter, heart slamming against my ribs. Shadows played on the window, his silhouette shifting closer. Was that his hand pressing against the glass? I could see the outline of fingers, pale and long, smudging the pane. My hands trembled as I clutched the baseball bat, sweat trickling down my back. He didn't try the door at first. Instead, he just stood there, head tilted, like he was listening to my breathing. The fog made everything blurry, but I swear his hood slipped back a bit, revealing a face too gaunt, eyes reflecting the neon like animal shine. "What do you want?" I whispered to myself, voice shaking. The knocking stopped, replaced by a low scratching, nails dragging down the door. Scratch, scratch, slow and rhythmic like he was carving something. I inched toward the back room, thinking of the emergency exit, but the shadows moved. He was circling the building now, footsteps crunching gravel, getting louder then softer. My mind raced. Was he at the window? The door rattled, testing the lock. Click, jiggle. My knees buckled. I dropped to the floor behind the counter, breathing ragged, praying he'd leave. What if he broke in? What would he do? The rattling intensified, the door frame creaking under pressure. Seconds felt like hours. I peeked up. The silhouette was right there, face pressed to the glass, breath fogging it. Our eyes met. His were empty, void. I stifled a scream, ducking down. Then silence. No more sounds. Minutes passed. I gathered courage, stood, and looked out. The fog swirled empty. He was gone, vanished like smoke. The door was intact, but on the glass, scratched faintly, "See you soon." I bolted to my car at dawn, barely escaping the night, but the fear clung to me like the fog. After that night, everything changed. I called the police from my car at sunrise, hands still shaking. They came to the station, took my statement, checked the cameras, but the footage was glitchy, showing only static during the encounter. "Probably a vagrant," the officer said, not convinced. "We'll patrol more, but without clear evidence." They found no fingerprints on the door, just those faint scratches. My boss, Karen, was sympathetic at first but practical. "Take a few days off, Alex. We can't afford to close nights." I quit on the spot. No job was worth that terror. I told my family, my mom and sister back in Chicago. They insisted I move in with them for a bit. "You're not safe there," Mom said, her voice worried. I packed up my apartment that week, always looking over my shoulder. The drive to the city felt like freedom, but the paranoia stuck. I started triple-checking locks, avoiding gas stations after dark, even during the day. I'd jump at every hooded stranger on the street, heart racing like back at the pumps. Sleep came in fits, haunted by dreams of scratching at my window. Life slowly normalized, or tried to. I got a daytime job at a warehouse, nothing exciting, but no nights alone. Friends finally took me seriously after seeing how jumpy I was. "Dude, that sounds insane," one said, but the doubt lingered in their eyes. I changed, more cautious, always carrying pepper spray, installing extra cameras at Mom's place. I avoided highways, stuck to well-lit areas. The gas station world felt poisoned now, a reminder of vulnerability. Then, a month later, the creepy detail hit. I got a text from an unknown number. A photo of my old apartment door, taken at night, with the caption, "Miss you." No sender info, blocked when I tried to reply. Police said it was untraceable, probably a burner phone. It shook me, suggested it wasn't over, that he was still out there watching from afar. Sometimes I wonder if he's just waiting for the right night to come back. Or maybe this wasn't the first time he did this to someone.